Hey, it's Mike. For today's stock comparison, I want to take a look at two companies that probably are not on the top of your radar, but have been incredible performers over the past year. And I think they're going to have some outsized gains over the next decade. And those two companies are Alcoa Corp, trades on the NYSE under symbol AA, and US Steel, trades on the NYSE under symbol X. On Friday, Alcoa went up over 10%, up to 32.78. It's pretty close to its 52-week high of $33.45. If you look at the past 6-month chart for Alcoa, you can see it's done incredibly well, almost tripling in price. So Alcoa basically is a manufacturer of aluminum, and as you probably know, there are lots of applications for aluminum. Everything from aluminum cans to automobiles are going to have some level of aluminum in them. And what's really spurring the growth of companies like Alcoa is just the overall rise in the price of commodities. Everything from like lumber to rare earths have just skyrocketed in value. There's going to be increased demand, and I think because now that the pandemic is over, or pretty much almost over, you're going to have a lot of need for these materials, probably from a lot of projects that haven't been online for a while. Now let's go ahead and take a look at US Steel. US Steel is obviously a company that's been around forever. Now there's a company I have been talking about since it was under $10. It has moved up really well. It did stagnate, peak up in January. It has been able to recover, but still kind of in a trading range right now. So US Steel was up over 11% on Friday, up to 22.75. The 52-week high is 24.71. They pay a very small dividend, but still that's a pretty good sign. The market cap's at around $6 billion. US Steel, obviously, there are a lot of applications for construction, highway construction, building construction. It's going to be a lot of need for steel. I always like to remind people that any project done sort of east of the Mississippi in the United States, it's going to be done with US Steel. And I think kind of west of the Mississippi is going to probably use steel from China. So US Steel essentially does have a monopoly kind of on this half of the United States. And if you live anywhere in the United States, you probably have a lot of construction going on, a lot of building construction going on, real estate development. Around where I live, they have a new highway going up, and there's a lot of steel and concrete involved with that. So that's why I think US Steel is going to be doing really well over the while. So, the question is, should you go with aluminum or steel? And I would say at this point, I've been a holder of US Steel since it was under $10, and I continue to be a holder of US Steel. And I actually think that US Steel is going to outperform for a couple of reasons. One, I do think that we still get a lot of steel from China, and our trade relations with China are still a little shaky. And it takes only maybe one geopolitical issue with China to maybe cause another trade war, or cause maybe some disruption in the import of steel from China. And if that happens, that's just going to open up the market for US Steel in the United States. Also, the thing about steel is there's not a lot of competition for steel. There may be some alternatives for aluminum, because for things like smaller objects, you can maybe find different substitutes, but it's hard to substitute steel if you're doing building construction or highway construction. It's pretty much the only game in town, and that's why I continue to like US Steel. Now, when it comes to the stability of both companies, they both have a lot of debt, and they both really don't have like a net profit or anything like that. But I think right now, because we're kind of in a commodities boom, I don't think that really matters right now, or at least for the next decade. The one headwind that they do have is that if credit gets tightened, that's going to be a lot harder for both companies to operate. But like I said, because they are dealing with commodities here, they may just have a little more room to breathe than, let's say, a startup tech company that's about the same size. So that's why I would give the edge to these sort of commodity makers. But like I said, out of the two, I prefer US Steel. So I think both of them are going to do well. But like I said, I just like US Steel just because of possible China trade disruptions could cause US Steel to get a lot more business, especially from the West Coast or the Midwest. So definitely check out both stocks. Like I said, Alcoa trades on the NYSE under symbol AA, and US Steel trades under the NYSE under symbol X. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like and go ahead and subscribe and turn on notifications. I do multiple daily updates on stocks, options, and stock trading strategies. Thanks a lot. Bye.